Man Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The K-Man Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Monday, the 30th day of March 2020. I hope and trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands this morning, and we're likely to see the number on the roads, traffic-wise, as well as pedestrians, we are likely to see that number increase slightly today because of some of the new measures that have been put in place. But if you're out there on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist operating any type of a vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely careful. Remember that the life you save may be your own, because there is less traffic on the road does not give anyone license to speed, to operate recklessly on the roads of the Cayman Islands, and sadly we're continuing to see that on the roads this morning again. Very few cars on the road, but one idiot in a white sort of SUV pickup truck saw fit to just be speeding, heading down on Shamrock Road as well. Yeah, all the way down on Shamrock Road. So if you were driving a white pickup truck, sort of SUV, this morning between the hours of about 6:15 and 6:20, you know who you are, and you're a crazy individual putting other people's lives at risk, including your own. And if you don't have a value and place a value on your life, then consider others, or bear in mind that other persons place a value on their life. So crazy drivers out there, control yourselves. And we know that the police are quite occupied doing so many things that we really have to start to police ourselves as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the roads of the Cayman Islands. For those of you who are working outside of your home, places of work, wherever that may be, as well. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Our phone lines are always open. Again, this morning, it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson that will help me through the show. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Of course, if you don't like to talk on the telephone, then email us at for the record, one word, for the record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us on 925-3261. You can send us a text message or a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today or celebrated one over the weekend, we want to wish you either happy birthday today or a belated happy birthday if you celebrated one over the weekend as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times as well. And of course, we want to give a special big shout out to our colleague DJ Lynn. Our prayers continue to go with you, and we again wish for you a speedy recovery as well. Also want to give a big shout out to those members of the emergency services, the security forces, all of those who are doing their utmost to keep the Cayman Islands safe through this very challenging times. Want to give a big shout out to all of our politicians, all of our civil servants, everyone. And I want you to give yourself a big shout out as well if you have been doing your part to ensure that you are safe and that those persons around you are safe as well. Because we continue to see many irresponsible acts taking place either on the roads or even in people's properties as well, and again, or on the beaches, for instance. And again, we urge you to do your part. This fight against the COVID-19, it has to be a concerted effort. Everyone has to play their part, whether it be ensuring that you adhere to the social distancing rules when you're out there exercising, when you're in stores or whatever. And if you see persons failing to do that, then you politely tell them about it and remind them as well. Because believe you me, with all that has been going on, all of the press briefings, all of the news releases and everything else, there are still persons out there who are either ignorant when it comes to the facts and the care and caution that they need to exercise. They're either ignorant to the fact or they're simply ignoring it because they haven't still yet taken this whole situation seriously. I just want to say that we won't have any guests in the studio with us this morning, but after the 8:15 news, we will be linking up with Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, Mr. Tristan Hides, and we will be talking with him from about 8:15 until 9 o'clock, or I guess later if it becomes necessary. And he will be updating us on the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure facing department and agencies, the public-facing department and agencies, what they're doing as far as the COVID-19 is concerned. Now, over the weekend, on Saturday as well as Sunday, we had press briefings as well, and some good news, very positive news with that. What I'm going to do, since I have no guests in the studio, and of course the phone lines are open, I'll remind you again, toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. You can email us at for the record, one word, for the record at candw.ky. The WhatsApp number, 925 3261. So on yesterday's press briefing, we were advised that 4 further positive cases of the COVID-19 infection from 18 test results were received yesterday. They pointed out that all 4 are travel-related incidents, 2 actual travelers, and 2 in contact with travelers. And all 4 of those individuals are isolated. They also announced new supermarket visit rules. And I think there may have been some corrections in relation to that. And I'm trusting, I think I have the correct release that was sent out, right? So it says supermarkets from today until further notice will alternate day openings. So from Monday to Saturday by shoppers, last names. They're using the last names. I'm going to pause there for a second. And I want to say that you heard a caller. You heard a caller calling on Friday and made the suggestion. I used the analogy of what happened during the oil crisis in the 70s in terms of using license plate numbers. If you had an even number or odd number, that would determine what day you were allowed to go to the gas stations. Obviously, the powers that be thought about it, whether or not it was as a result of that caller, but it just goes to show you that there are people out there who are smart, who have good suggestions. And when they call in on this talk show or talk today, whatever, it is always good to listen to them because no one has exclusive rights to knowledge, and we always want to listen to those persons as well. I believe we do have a caller, 2 callers, so let's go to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, OC.
Good morning again, sir. And, thumbs up to you.
Yes. Well, hopefully somebody heard and listened.
Yes.
Well, thankfully, I should say somebody heard and listened. What I'm calling for now, OC, is regarding the banks. It's a similar situation because I understand from what announcement I've heard is that most of the banks are going to be operating out of one of their locations, which is going to create the same kind of crush because, banks were closed for 2 days last week, so a lot of people are going to be out now trying to do their banking business.
Mm-hmm. And it's at the end of the month, yeah.
Especially CNB, I understand they're only operating out of Commander Bay. Why Commander Bay? Was that one of their smallest branches? They need to have proper spacing, think that they would use their larger business or place. But anyway, maybe the banks could take on board what the supermarkets have done. You use some kind of that kind of
yes
of thing to get business done, because what is there, like I said, and they're only open from 9 to 1, so that's 4 hours, and you're going to have a crush of people, and there's no way people are going to be able to conduct, or they're going to get through all the business they can in those 4 hours when you have to be letting like 2 or 3 people in at a time. You got to be standing 6 feet apart outside. So maybe they need to rethink, and if they're going to open one branch, open their largest one, and if maybe, like I said, maybe adopt a similar thing like what the supermarkets did regarding different people coming on different days. Just throw that one out there to the banking people. If they're listening, maybe you need to consider that, because I can guarantee you that today especially, it's going to be crazy.
Yes. And caller, what do you say to those persons who are out there on the roads? I mean, the government has relaxed some of the measures that they have put in place because they do realize that there are certain functions that persons have to perform. But obviously, if people overdo it and try to take advantage of the situation, it is something that the government will keep under review and at any point in time can pull the plug. So we want to say to people, don't abuse what has been put in place for you, because if you do, you may jeopardize the privilege that people are being given at this point in time.
Yes, I agree with you, and I appeal to people, you know, if you don't have to be out, don't be out, you know, and if you're out, be reasonable and responsible.
Yes.
Because, like you said, if we don't follow the rules and regulations, the government will be forced to get more draconian, and we don't want that. So please, people, you know, just be reasonable, just be responsible, just be disciplined. Yes.
Yep.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best, and keep in touch.
Stay safe.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We still have one caller on hold. We will take that caller as soon as we return from the commercial break, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the historical vignette series, The Cayman Islands, He Hath Founded It Upon the Seas. The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the historical vignette series, The Cayman Islands, He Hath Founded It Upon the Seas.
Samuel Osbert Bertie Ebanks, Certificate of Honor, JP, 1909 through 1996. Bertie Ebanks, like most of his contemporaries, started his working life as a seaman. Early in his career, he survived the sinking of the Vita Louise, on which he was an engineer. He became the Cayman Islands' first public health officer and sanitary inspector. Among his accomplishments were his insistence on sanitary disposal of household wastes and the immunization of the entire population against diphtheria and polio. With a budget of only £500, he eradicated the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which carries yellow fever, a feat that still baffles experts. Mr. Bertie served in the Assembly of Justices and Vestrymen as an elected member for West Bay from 1934 to 1942, and as a Justice of Peace from 1946 to 1959. He established the 4-H Club, the West Bay Cooperative Fishermen's Society, and the West Bay Reading Society, and wrote a book, Cayman Emerges. In 1930, he organized the Bosun Bay Sunday School, which was the forerunner of the Bosun Bay Presbyterian Church. He was awarded the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor in 1976 in recognition of services rendered to his country.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
I remember playing at 7 Mile Beach as a boy, eating mango by the sea, learning how to snorkel. My mother, she worked so hard to provide for our family so that we could have those moments. Seeing her age has been tough. That strong, capable woman, now in need of daily support, it's my time to be strong for her.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of the careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
Sending money to your family overseas shouldn't be a full-day process. Stop waiting in lines. MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide, offering 3 convenient locations: Shedden Road, Baden Water Sports in West Bay, and at FIS Brack Agency in Cayman Brack. MoneyGram by Financial Integrated Services. Visit FIS.com for more information on MoneyGram services. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household, if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I did tell you we had another caller on hold, but I have something very important to announce, and if I finish reading this before then we will take the caller otherwise. The Cayman Islands Bankers Association 3 days ago, that's on the 27th of March, issued a statement and information in relation to the retail banks and their amended branch operational or operating hours. And they pointed out that on Saturday, the 28th of March, no retail bank branches would be open. Effective Monday, the 30th of March, 2020, Monday through Fridays, the following branches will be open 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. until further notice, with priority being given to seniors and those considered vulnerable. Open: Cayman National Bank Limited, Camana Bay, and Cayman Brack and Little Cayman branches. Closed: Countryside, Shopping Village, Elgin Avenue, Buckingham Square, Centennial Towers. Open: Scotia Bank and Trust Limited, Camana Bay. Closed: Crew Road. Open: Fidelity Bank Cayman Limited, Dr. Roy's Drive. Closed: Fidelity Financial Center. Open: Butterfield Bank Cayman Limited, Butterfield Place. Closed: Midtown Plaza, Camana Bay, Governor's Square. Open: First Caribbean International Bank, Main Street. Closed: Health City, Plaza Venetia, and Regatta. Open: Royal Bank of Canada, Cayman Limited, Shedden Road. Closed. Shamrock Road, Red Bay. And it goes on to say that the Cayman Islands Bankers Association member retail banks will serve customers in accordance with social distancing guidelines within the banking hall and staff operating environment. Customers are encouraged to make use of their electronic banking services wherever possible and only use branches where electronic and ATM channels are not available. These include bill payment, bank transfers, and electronic funds transfers via their online banking, as well as making cash withdrawals and deposits at ATMs. So that was issued on the 27th unless something has changed since then. That is, those are the details in relation to the retail bank. So when a caller spoke earlier about one particular institution and the fact that they were only opened at Camana Bay and in Grand Cayman, absolutely right with that. They've closed their countryside shopping village, Elgin Avenue, Buckingham Square, and the Centennial Towers as well. Quite obviously, if the demand is there, whether or not these banking institutions will respond to their customers' concerns and needs is another issue, but we would hope and trust that they would be doing that as well. So we're about 1 minute from the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. We're going to take that break for the 8 o'clock news. When we return, of course, I will be having a phone link, with Mr. Tristan Hydes, the Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. And we hope to have a setup where we will have Mr. Hydes on the line. And if you, our listeners, have questions or comments to make as well, you will be able to converse with him. We will have a three-way hookup for our listeners and viewers to be able to speak with Mr. Hydes as well. So, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Value Med Pharmacy, with 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and an Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit Value Med, more than just a pharmacy. Did you know that Value Med Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with Value Med. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location, Value Med on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Cayman reports 4 further positive cases for COVID-19 infection from 18 test results received on Sunday. Government says all 4 are travel-related incidents, 2 actual travelers and 2 who came in contact with travelers. All 4 have been isolated. Starting today, there are new supermarket visit rules, and until further notice, the stores will be available on alternate day openings from Monday to Saturday by shoppers' last names. A through K can go Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, while L through Z are available on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. HSA has developed a COVID-19 action plan which sets out a comprehensive step-by-step approach to ensure effective coordination of resource, response, and clinical outcomes. Health Minister the Honourable Dwayne Seymour explains the plan includes the establishment of a multidisciplinary task force of industry-wide clinicians who meet daily to review the following information.
Bringing together the clinical and operational perspective to drive a coordinated response plan to ensure our operations are aligned with efficient clinical delivery.
The Health Services Authority also sets up a COVID-19 hospital operations team with representatives across the organization. That team also meets daily.
Relevant clinical data and guidance, develop best practices, policies, and procedures and strategies for patient management and effective clinical decision making.
At Sunday's COVID-19 briefing, Minister Seymour noted that they have 520 testing kits on hand and are expecting more from the UK this week. He also says the Doctors Hospital is working on its ability to do local testing. Flu calls are declining.
Since the hotline started on March 15th, the team has handled 1,434 calls, with the lowest record volume of calls yesterday at approximately 50.
Health Services Authority CEO Lizette Yearwood adds it's a good indicator that measures in place are being taken seriously by the public.
Originally, I think the calls were coming in because people were very anxious. They wanted to know whether they were a candidate for testing. I think the information has gone out about the criteria for testing. People now understand, and they are coming forward still with questions about those that are having symptoms.
She says if you're experiencing flu-like symptoms, don't rush to the hospital. Instead, call the flu line.
Even if you have mild symptoms, we still want to encourage you to call the flu hotline so we can know whether you are out there with flu symptoms, even if they're minor at this point in time and don't require you to come to the hospital.
That number is 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077. If you're coming to seek medical attention, you're urged to call ahead. His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper is reminding those who urgently need to leave the island for medical or compassionate reasons, get in touch with them through the Emergency Travel Helpline.
And we've been speaking to BA about arranging a flight. I hope to be able to make an announcement quite soon on that now. We've had good discussions. But we do need to know if there are people out there who need to leave to go to London. So please do ring the helpline if you want to let us know. It's 244-3333.
That helpline is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Eileen McHugh. Spain has now recorded more coronavirus cases than China, where the pandemic began. The authorities have detected more than 85,000 cases. Only the United States and Italy have confirmed more. Spain has also registered another 812 deaths in 24 hours, slightly down on the figure for the previous day. There's been a surge in new cases in Japan amid fears that a lack of widespread testing has allowed the virus to spread undetected. 68 new cases were reported in Tokyo. Many people in the capital appear to be ignoring government calls to stay at home. Oil prices have dropped to their lowest level in almost 20 years, in the latest sign of the global economic slowdown caused by the coronavirus outbreak. The benchmark Brent crude fell to just above $23 a barrel. Other prices dropped below $20. The budget airline EasyJet is grounding its entire fleet because of the pandemic. It said there was no certainty on when it could resume flights, but added that the company had a strong balance sheet. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Value Med Pharmacy, with 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and an Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit Value Med, more than just a pharmacy. ValueMed Pharmacy is your community care partner for health and wellness needs. We offer convenient prescription processing at the counter and online at value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com, with pickup available at the Walkers Road or Boddentown location. We also accept transfer prescriptions from other pharmacies. More than just a pharmacy, shop ValueMed for personal care and beauty products from trusted brands, perfume and gift sets, Hallmark and greeting cards, baby clothes, footwear, handbags, swimwear, home decor, toys, school supplies, and stationery. And home convalescence aids like wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, and hospital beds. With 2 locations to serve you, Walkers Road in Georgetown and in Evron Plaza, Boddentown. Visit ValueMed, more than just a pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
If your business is over here, but your customers are over here, adding more yellow to your business will bring you both right here. With everyone searching yellows, print, online, and mobile app, getting your business noticed is easier than ever. Book your consultation today at findyellow.com.
Are you trying to reach the flu hotline? Call 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077 or log on to www.hsa.ky/publichealth/coronavirus. You can also email questions to flu@hsa.ky. These have been made operational to provide answers and guidance to those persons who experience flu-like symptoms or just have general questions. The hotline numbers and the email address are manned 24 hours a day. The maximum response time for responding to email queries is 24 hours. If persons have policy questions, they can go to www.gov.ky and click on Coronavirus Be in the Know. You can find the latest advice and guidance for households, businesses, and schools, as well as advice pertaining to older persons or persons with chronic diseases.
Persons in the Cayman Islands are reminded that shelter-in-place procedures are in effect. If you are not an essential services worker, you must remain at home unless you are going to the supermarket or pharmacy between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. until further notice. Please note that gatherings, parties, and events such as conferences and concerts involving more than 2 persons are not allowed. Until further notice, the shelter-in-place order is in effect and applies to all 3 Cayman Islands. This might be extended if deemed necessary. Although movement will be allowed for essential purposes, shelter at home still requires everyone to remain at home or in their yard space. Breaches upon conviction will attract a $1,000 fine and imprisonment of 6 months. A hard curfew is in effect from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m., meaning that no one except essential services workers is allowed to leave home at any time during the hard curfew period. Stay at home, Cayman.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Super Stitch. We are known for our amazing fabrics, top quality tailoring, and dressmaking. But did you know that we also carry trimmings, glitter, sequins, acrylic paints for fabrics and craft, floral wire, glues, markers, foam balls, and assorted ribbons? Yes, we do. You have a do-it-yourself project? Just pop into Super Stitch and see what we have in store for you. There is a craft item for your every need.
My favorite, the beads, glass ones, flat, and even those shell ones.
Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Superstitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Superstitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
New stock has just arrived at Superstitch. Now don't take my word for it, drop by and see for yourself. Fresh off the boat, we have loads of fabric, vinyl upholstery fabric, fabric for cushions, outdoor fabrics, and dress fabric. That's not all. Superstitch has sewing accessories and craft items. Included in the new shipment, you will find sheets, comforters, throw pillows, bath mats, rugs, and curtains for every room in your home. Superstitch, 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best price in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Wow, looks good. What is that?
Chicken chair.
What did you just say to me?
Chicken chair.
I am not a chicken
Whoa! I said chicken share. It's from KFC. Bucket of 12 hot wings, 6 pieces of chicken, or 8 tenders. KFC chicken share. Just $12 each.
Oh.
Want some chicken, tenders, or hot wings?
You're sharing your chicken share with me? The new chicken share from KFC. Just $12 each. And it's finger-licking good. Dine at KFC Baytown Plaza, KFC Shedden Road, or KFC at the Strand.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You know what goes perfect with tuna? Bacon. That's why Subway's adding bacon to our delicious tuna sandwich. It's the Tuna BLT. At just 540 calories for a 6-inch, you'll love this mouth-watering combination of flavors. Subway's tasty tuna sandwich is simply sumptuous on its own, but add bacon and it's out of this world delicious. After all, bacon and tuna are perfect together. Stop by any of Subway's 7 locations today and get the Tuna BLT. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Persons having difficulty coping and managing stress during these difficult times can call a new confidential mental health helpline, which is operated by the Cayman Islands government in collaboration with private partners. The number is 1-800-534-6463. That's 1-800-534-6463. Hours are Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Additional hours will be added as needed.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household, if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In a few minutes, we're going to be linking up with Mr. Tristan Hydes. Meantime, we want to point out to those drivers who may be in the area near to the Kimpton Hotel that there seems to be some traffic congestion there. We're not sure, what is happening there, but if you're in that area, you want to be aware of the fact that there is traffic congestion there. Also, one of our listeners has written in and said, morning, the last name system is working well. People are observing social distancing and there are no long lines as well. So if you're in an area, if you're in a line at one of the supermarkets, please send us a WhatsApp message, 925-3261, and let us know what's happening, where you are, how things are going as well. Please let us know. We have one caller that we asked to call back before we went to the news, so we're going to take that caller before we go to Mr. Tristan Hydes. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Jose.
Good morning, sir.
First, tell me, do you have any statistics on Cuba and Jamaica?
I think Cuba is over 40 in terms of the number of cases.
40?
40 a few days ago for Cuba, and I think Jamaica is up to 30 something, maybe more. I'll double check it. To see.
Yeah, because I see on YouTube that Cuba is sending more than 300 doctors and nurses to Jamaica to assist them.
They have sent some already. They have sent some already.
Yeah.
I think some are going to St. Lucia or some other place also in the Eastern Caribbean.
I think that is a very, very good act. And Cuba was the one that made the cruise ship stop in there to send the people home. And they had been turned down by 3 or 4 other countries. And I think Cuba has 3 or 4 times as many people as Jamaica. And yet their statistics are down so low. I think there's some things that they're doing that we could take on air ourselves. One of the things that I know not much about Cuba, but I think every street has somebody in charge of that street. So when you have 10 streets together and you have those 10 people in charge, they get together and select one person to represent the 10. Now, when you have different groups of 10 like that, when you got 10 groups, you have 10 people, one from each group. Now, those people on that one street, they know everybody on the street. And as soon as anybody gets a little sniffle or anything, they take them directly to the hospital. Understand? Within a half mile, all parts of Cuba, there's a fully stocked pharmacy with a qualified doctor.
They do have, a very good medical system, but we don't want to be too naive about the internal controls in Cuba. And when you talk about these neighborhood groups and stuff like that, when they were originally established by the communist regime, they were established for people not to look out for each other, but to look at each other, to monitor them, to see if there were any anti-government activity, whether or not they left their neighborhoods too soon for a long period of time, whether or not they may have they may have become refugees and tried to leave Cuba illegally. That's what it was originally set up for. Now, whether or not it is being used now for other purposes, but we don't want to be too naive about the internal controls that Cuba had.
Well, especially in the early days, I understand why they did that. But right now I'm saying, if we had a system like that, where every street had somebody in charge, and they could monitor everybody on that street, anyone that has a little cold or sniffle, make sure they get tested. It would go a long way in keeping the disease down. And I mean, I give an example. I say Cuba is sending doctors and personnel to other countries, Jamaica, other places in the West Indies. On the other hand, America is supposed to be a good Christian country. They would not even lift the embargo for Venezuela then, so they can buy food and medicine. You know, that is disgraceful as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
You know, forget about the politics. I mean, this is humanitarian thing they should do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to keep Mr. Hydes waiting too long. I just want to point out to you that Jamaica has, as of today, based on a Gleaner, 36 cases. Cuba, like I said, about 40. And just to point out to you also that Cuba has about 29,000 professional and medical workers in about 59 countries throughout the world as well. So when you talk about the Cuban health system, when you compare it with the Caribbean and many other developed countries, it is certainly much, much more superior and advanced as well. I want to thank you very much, caller. We're going to go now to Mr. Tristan Hyde. Mr. Hyde, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Obviously, this is some strange times, but you know, we're doing our best.
Yes, we are. So we're going to talk about the public-facing departments in your agency and what's happening as far as the COVID-19 is concerned.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
You have the mic.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everybody. We just want to know that, you know, the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, we are open for business. It's just not as usual, so to speak. We're all working remotely, as you can see. This is kind of strange, to be honest with you. I've never been on sort of this side of the mic, if you want to say that. Many of our departments are open, you know, the minister. In fact, probably the most important one that we should talk about is the Small Business Development Center, and the minister fast-tracked that once this crisis came into online to bring it up and get it so they can support small businesses. So they're doing that. They're hosting a very large amount of teleconferences and stuff like that, helping people. And I think once this is really, you know, once we can come back out and start manning our desks again and start meeting people, they're going to be there to really help small businesses through this crisis. You know, there's some different hotlines and stuff that I guess we can get to in a bit. We've got also DCI, which is obviously trade and business, is what most people know it as. They're up and working remotely as well. Applications can be made online, can be submitted through www.dci.gov.ky. You know, for enforcement matters, I think they can also email enforcement@dci.gov.ky. And for just general info, it's info@dci.gov.ky. But they're also up and running. We've got DVDL, which unfortunately had to close to the public, but they are still continuing to work remotely. So I would encourage anyone who needs to renew their car registration, they can do so at www.dvdl.gov.ky, or actually through our e-services portal, which is eservices.gov.ky. Both just take you back to the same sort of interface, and people can use it. in the case of DVDL, obviously new cars that haven't been registered yet,
Mm-hmm.
or cars that need to be inspected, uh, can't can't be done, because obviously we're in sort of a soft curfew.
Mm-hmm. So
But
people finding themselves in that position, what should they be doing?
they, unfortunately, I have to tell them they just can't drive their vehicle.
Right.
The law doesn't give very much flexibility in that regard, and so we're going to be back up very shortly. I mean, in truth, we're not supposed to be really doing a lot of driving anyway.
Exactly. Yes. Uh-huh.
And so I would encourage everybody to stay home anyway. But you know, Cayman is there's a lot of families that actually have a lot of cars. So um, you know, but if you just have to renew, you can definitely go online and do it. We've seen, in fact, it is encouraging. We were working towards this just before this crisis came about, to really shift to the online portal more anyway, because obviously, we've heard what people have said about the wait times, etc. at DVDL. Um, just to let everybody know, just at every counter, not every counter, sorry, at every location in DVDL, we do something like about 250 online, sorry, in-person renewals a day. So that's just renewals of registrations. That's not like driver's licenses and all the other businesses that DVDL do, the driving exams and all that. But we have seen a real pickup um, in the online, which is encouraging. So I would really hope that everybody goes back online and or goes online and does it. Um, it's again dvdl.gov.ky, and moving a little bit further on to DVS.
But before we go there, Mr. Heights, can you on the DVDL side of it, can you, if you can, walk people through some of the steps involved? Because sometimes when people who are not accustomed to using online services, they feel intimidated by it. Can you walk them through the steps, if possible?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's quite simple actually. It's when you go to the DVDL website, dvdl.gov.ky. I think it's over on the right hand side. You'll see where you can renew online, and there's two renewal systems. One is what's called a guest portal, which you can, in that case, and I think for this purpose, I think everybody, it's a lot easier to use the guest portal. So you just click on guest portal, you type in your registration number, or your license number, license plate is what we call it. You type that in, and you just follow the steps, which means you have to upload your insurance and your log, through a scan or a picture, and you then have to pay, and that's it. It's really simple. You get a receipt, and that receipt, you're asked to keep that receipt. You print that receipt out, and or take a picture of it if you don't have a printer,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep that for your records in case you are stopped. But just to let you know, in the background, then DVDL our staff are notified, and from whom we've got quite a number of them that have this on their computer, that they then renew it manually online, so to speak, if you understand that.
Yes.
So, and then once this is all over, we will mail you the actual logbook with the renewal stuff in it. So it's really simple. Those that have what's called the ECID number, they can actually also renew they can renew their car online,
Mm-hmm.
and they can also renew their driver's licenses online.
And what's an ECID number?
An ECID number is a small, unique code that lets you log in as and have a profile. And as a matter of fact, just before this, we were working to distribute. Everybody has one that's in the system now, and anybody that doesn't, you can generate one. So you can go to the DBDL website again, and you can see the ECID, and it can generate one for you and send it to you, and then you can go through that way. So even if you don't, like for instance, if you are wanting to renew your driver's license and don't have an ECID number, you can certainly then go online and sign up for it, and it will take you through and email it to you. That takes a little bit longer because obviously it's back and forth, so it's not a one quick transaction like the guest portal for car relicensing, but it still works and it still gets you to the thing. We are working to actually mass distribute that out to everyone. We were in the process of doing that when this happened. In fact, we've got a meeting set up this afternoon by Zoom to continue that, so that we can, how you get the text messages on your phone. That will be the same thing. We'll mass email you an ECID number, and with that ECID number, then you can log in and do your transactions. So yeah, we're DVDL is really still up and going, and they're trying to minimize the amount of work that you have to do to do all of this. We're still sending text messages out to people when your car is about to expire. It gives you some prompts a month away and a few days away. In truth, there's a few numbers in there that don't get text messages for some weird reason. We're still looking into it. We think it's because of the whole portability thing, where you used to be cable wireless or flow, and now you switch to Digicel or vice versa. And we think that's what it is. So we are actually working to resolve that. But when we run the statistics, that I think comes down to about 10-15% of the people. So it's really it's not a lot, and it doesn't seem to be with what we're doing. What we try to do is create that log and then email those separately. So we're still trying to hit everybody to with an email of reminding people to renew their vehicles.
Okay.
So yeah.
This is a good point for us to take a commercial break. Mr. Hides, please hang in there, folks. Hang in there. For the record, with Mr. Tristan Hides, we'll continue after this short commercial break.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, formerly known as Professional Pharmacy, would like to thank the Cayman communities for their loyal support these past 18 years. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care. Thorough background checks and follow-up consultations is only the beginning. Your safety is our concern. Our staff are respected healthcare professionals whose job requires careful and precise calculations. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, where we prepare to provide exceptional care. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we care about your health.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
The Cayman Islands Bankers Association member retail banks have announced amended branch operating hours and the temporary closure of some branches in support of the government's mandate for businesses to comply with instructions for self-isolation of non-essential staff in the effort to keep the community safe. Effective today, Monday, 30th of March, Mondays through Fridays, the following branches will be open 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. until further notice, with priority being given to the seniors and those considered vulnerable. Open, Cayman National Bank Limited, Camana Bay and Cayman Brack and Little Cayman branches, they're open. Close, Countryside Shopping Village, Elgin Avenue, Buckingham Square, and Centennial Towers are closed. Open, Scotiabank and Trust Cayman Limited, Camana Bay. That is open. Close, Crew Road location of Scotiabank. Open, Fidelity Bank, Cayman Limited, location Dr. Roy's Drive, and closed are the Fidelity Financial Center. Open, Butterfield Bank, Cayman Limited, the location Butterfield Place is open. Closed, Midtown Plaza, Camana Bay, and Governor's Square, location of Butterfield Bank, are closed. Open, First Caribbean International Bank, Cayman Limited, Main Street is open, and closed are the locations located in Health City, Plaza Venetia, and Regatta. And RBC Royal Bank, Cayman Limited, Shedden Road is open, and the location on Shamrock Road, Red Bay, is closed. CIBA member retail banks will serve customers in accordance with social distancing guidelines within the banking hall and staff operating environment. Customers are encouraged to make sure of your electronic banking services whenever possible and only use branches where electronic and ATM channels are not available. These include bill payments, bank transfers, and electronic funds transfers via the online banking, as well as making cash withdrawals and deposit at ATMs. And that's the very latest coming from the banks.
The Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing is closed to the public until further notice. Online services are available to renew vehicle and driver's license via DVL's website at www.dvdl.gov.ky or through the e-services portal at www.eservices.gov.ky. Customers are asked to keep their receipts as evidence of transaction. Members of the public experiencing issues can email dvdl.helpdesk@gov.ky for assistance.
A soft curfew is in effect from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. until further notice, and all establishments, institutions, businesses, organizations, and offices must be closed. Employees can work remotely from home but must not be required to go to the office unless they have been officially exempted by a competent authority. As a reminder to all persons employed within the public service, unless they are specifically designated as an essential worker, they must work remotely from home. The public is reminded that during this time, for the purposes of ensuring persons abide with the shelter-in-place requirements, a police officer may require a person to answer any questions to enable the police officer to ascertain who the person is and whether he or she is an exempted person. Where the person does not satisfy the police officer that the person falls within the exempted categories, the police officer may direct the person to go immediately to the person's place of abode or place of residence. A police officer may also use reasonable force, if necessary, in the exercise of this power.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have Mr. Tristan Hydes, who is the Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. He's on the line. I want to remind you, if you have any questions, any observations in relation to what he's talking about, please feel free to call in because you will be able to talk with him despite the fact that he is not in the studio. Mr. Hydes, go right ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, I still find this kind of cool, actually. It's like we're there, but we're not there. I think it's actually better than, we use Zoom at home to do all the meetings and stuff.
Okay.
But it isn't as free-flowing as this, although we can't see each other, and that you can see each other. You still, when you're talking and stuff, I think it's easier on this than you are when you're actually using Zoom.
That's good to know.
Anyway, planning is also up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, some of their stuff are offline as well, unfortunately. For instance, inspections and the counter, the public counter, they're closed. But you can still, if you have an agent or an architect that are doing, a house plan or whatever, they can still submit it online through our OPS system, and that's really been up and going for quite some time. But it's really it's a really secure site, and the inspectors or plan reviewers is what we call them. Plan reviewers and VCU reviewers are still logging on from home and still reviewing all the plans. So that's something that everybody can do. They need to go to www.dop.secure.ky, and that will then take you through an online portal system. Most of the agents are registered agents, and they sort of know how to do this stuff. But for the actual, just the novice or the person that just wants to ask questions or something, they can also go to info@planning.gov.ky. That's an email address, info@planning.gov.ky, and they can seek to get questions answered through them. So planning is still up and running. DVDL is still up and running. DVS, although nobody is seeing it really, they're still up and doing stuff. DVS is our vehicle
and equipment services. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. But they, for instance, all of the garbage trucks and all that kind of stuff, they still have to service all of those kind of things and keep those up and going. So they are behind the scenes doing that. I also actually want to say that kudos to those guys that are doing those kind of things. We've got PWD also, who is doing a fantastic job. They are in direct communication with like the NEOC, for instance, and anything that NEOC needs. They reach out to us. PWD, for instance, is really quick to help. I mean, no matter what it is, if it's an urgent need, they go out and they do it. So those guys are really doing well as well. The sort of administration work that the PWD do, the architects and the consultant side and the project management side, they're still working remotely from home.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually a desk job anyway. So, but they are there. The DVDL guys, just run back to them. I want to thank them too, because there were a couple of instances where we did need to do some real emergency inspection services, and they were quick to go out and get them licensed. Sorry, we needed the fuel truck needed to be relicensed, for instance, and in
order for them to be on the road. Yes,
right.
yes, mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah.
Excellent.
to police cars, little things like that. But they are willing to go out and do it. So I mean, I this is the part of government that really, or the civil service that really impresses me all the time, because it's, we're so quick to help in times like this. We don't really think about anything else other than performing the service, and that's really, that's very admirable. So I think probably one of the most important pieces in here, from the user perspective, is e-government.
Okay. Yes.
They cover sort of a myriad of things. So their website, www.eservices.gov.ky. There you can actually do things that are not even in our ministry. But you can still, you can get birth certificates. You can you can even renew your car through them or through that website. You can do lands and survey stuff. You can do police records. There's so many things that you can do through e-services. It's phenomenal, the list of stuff that they're just slowly ticking off on, and that what they're basically doing is creating this online portal for all government agencies. And so it'll come a time when everything from government will be able to be done online, and it's these guys that are leading the charge, so to speak.
Can you repeat that website for me again?
Sure. It's www.eservices.gov.ky.
Excellent. www.eservices.gov.ky.
Correct. I think they also are helping DVDL and the Small Business Center, and I think those are very important pieces. The Small Business Center, I just want to say again that those guys, they're working again behind the scenes as well, and we're having a lot of meetings and stuff and strategizing. The minister's involved in it. He's sort of his real passion, in a sense. I don't want to speak for him, but he really has been focusing on this. He really wants to see small businesses succeed and get up and going. And they were really well on the way when this thing came across our shores. So I think now they're really focused on getting them back up. I think they're going to be talking a lot more about once this crosses to some other assistance with for small businesses. But in the meantime, if you have any, if you want to reach out to them, you can email them at cicbd@gov.ky. That's C as in Cayman, I as in Islands, C as in Center, B as in Business, D as in Development @gov.ky. And or you can actually, they have some phone numbers that you can call. It's 929-5073, 926-5771, 925-3794. So those numbers you can call and get help with small businesses. And who's gonna once this is over, I think they're going to be doing a lot of training for smaller businesses, coaching sessions, and again, I think ministers working out some other stuff in terms of assistance that can really bring small businesses back up to where.
Sounds good.
Sorry,
we have to take a commercial break now. When we return, we're going to still probably have about another 5 minutes, and I also want you to think about advising us what are the plans after when we return to normal. Obviously, there will probably be, more demand based on those persons who were unable to get things done during the break, and what if there are any plans to beef up staffing and services when we return to normal. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record with Mr. Tristan Hides will continue after this commercial break.
Insurance is complicated. Make your life easier and better protected with comprehensive financial solutions from FIS Insurance Brokers with plans from life, health, property insurance, motor, public liability, and professional liability insurance. Whether you're protecting your family or your business, leave nothing to chance. Understand your options and protect yourself for the future. Speak to your FIS Insurance Broker agent today, located on Shedden Road by MoneyGram, or call 623-5616.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Self-isolation is an effective precautionary measure to protect those around you, your family, friends, and colleagues from contracting COVID-19. You or the person you are caring for should remain in your home except for getting medical care. Do not go to work, school, or public areas. You will need to ask for help if you require groceries, other shopping, or medications. Please seek the advice from the Public Health Department.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. On the phone we have Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, Mr. Tristan Hydes. We also have a caller on hold, and I have a few WhatsApp messages as well, and I pose another question to Mr. Hydes before we left, and we have about 6 minutes left. So Mr. Hydes, I'm going to beg your indulgence. If we run out of time, we're going to ask you to hold on. We would have the 9 o'clock headline news, which is very short, and we may want to have you back for another 5 or 10 minutes after. So let's take the caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Good morning, Mr. Hydes.
Good morning, Cap. How are you?
Not too bad. I have a question for Mr. Hyde. My car license is on 8th of April. I don't need inspection. I just need to renew the license. What can I do about that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you can go online and get it done. I don't know if you can... forgive me, I don't need to be like this, but if you can't, maybe you have a family member that can go online for you and renew it. It's really easy to do. If you go to the DVDL website, that's dvdl.gov.ky. It is really easy to renew. I think probably for you, sir, the easiest thing to do would be to go to what's called the guest services. When you go to that website, you'll see it in the corner saying renew your license. You click on guest service. It tells you what you need, which is your registration number, obviously, or your license plate, and your documents, and an email, valid email address. You just click next step, and it takes you through and it's about 3 or 4 more clicks. You put in your license plate number, it pulls the information, the computer accesses the information, gets it. You just scan your or upload your document. You can take a picture of it and then upload it, and that's it. You just print out the receipt that once you've paid, you can pay by debit or credit card, and you print that out for your record, and that's it. You renew it for 3 months, 6 months, a year. In fact, the law goes a little further now, so depending on the age of your car, you can renew it even longer than that, and you keep that record. That's it. We will mail you the actual documents once this is over. And yeah, it's that simple, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. But I'm old-fashioned. I don't have anything like that. I don't have no credit card, no paycheck, no boss, no internet.
I figured, sir. Well, just to let you know, sir, we are working. We know who you are, so we are working on something that maybe by then it'll be, we'll be in a position to assist you. We don't. Just because of the interaction, and we're trying to minimize it. We're not doing it at this point, but we're certainly looking at maybe coming back online a little bit for instances such as yourself, because obviously, at DVDL we give preference to persons such as you anyway, sir. Yeah, we're looking to work that out, and if you're talking about the 8th of April, we might be up and going by then. So I'm confident that we'll get something worked out for you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Captain Paul. And Mr. Hydes, we're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock, so we're going to keep you over time a little bit, and we certainly appreciate that as well. Ms. Susan, you're ready for me now? Okay, I still have a minute. Here's one that we have, Mr. Hydes. It says, please ask Mr. Hydes if the enforcement or inspection team at planning is working. For example, if someone is working on a building, tenement type of dwelling or illegal construction on their own property, can planning do anything about it during this period as well? You ready for me now, Ms. Susan? Okay, we're going to take the break, Mr. Hydes, and when we come back, we'd ask you to respond to that listener. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man.
It's only 2 species that we have, on Island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice. For today's biggest news.
Access. Information. Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom team.
Today's biggest news.
RE/MAX launches the In This Together campaign, the purpose of which is to support K-Man by giving back, and the primary focus will be donations to local charities who are both critical and most vulnerable at this time, as well as some of the most needed services. Charities include Feed Our Future, Meals on Wheels, and the K-Man Food Bank. For more information, head to inthistogether.ky. Looking at the latest summary information regarding the global response to COVID-19, Spain has reported 812 new deaths, taking the national total to 7,340. But the country's foreign minister says the upward rise in cases appears to be flattening out. Prince Charles is out of self-isolation a week after testing positive for coronavirus. The Tokyo Olympics will be held between July 23rd and August 8th. In the United Kingdom, some 20,000 former NHS staff have returned to work. U.S. guidelines on social distancing will be extended until at least April 30th, and there are now more than 730,000 infections globally and almost 35,000 deaths. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing is closed to the public until further notice. Online services are available to renew vehicle and driver's license via DVL's website at www.dvdl@gov.ky or through the e-services portal at www.eservices.gov.ky. Customers are asked to keep their receipts as evidence of transaction. Members of the public experiencing issues can email dvdl.helpdesk@gov.ky for assistance.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter, For the Record with Orrett Connor continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. On the other line, we have Mr. Tristan Hyde, Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. So, Mr. Hyde, the question is whether enforcement or inspection team at planning is working. For example, if someone is working on a building tenement, yard type dwelling or illegal construction on their own property, can planning do anything about it during the curfew? Also says that I know a case last week where 911 was called and the police went to the scene, but the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service said they did not know the planning law and so they did nothing. Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. So yes, we're still doing those sorts of things. You can email us at info@planning.gov.ky, and you don't. It is very confidential. So once all you need to do is really give the block and parcel or the street address, and we take it from there. Short email that says legal building or something to that effect on XYZ road or block and parcel or near this place, and we will do the rest. Behind the scenes, we can look on the system to see if the place has a permit or not, and they also use the updated land info information to see, like we did aerials in 2018, so we look at it and see if it had any development on it at that time, and if not, then we act. So they go out and they put in an enforcement notice on them, and they do their thing from there. So yeah, you definitely can still do it.
Excellent. Now, in relation to what are the plans when things return to quote unquote normal in terms of dealing with any rush with the various departments and agencies?
Yeah, well, we're strategizing on that now. We had some plans to add some additional staff to certain areas anyway. So we're strategizing now on really how to do that. For instance, DVDL, we're actually doing some other things as well. We're working very hard because like I said, we were planning to go online, mostly online anyway, and I think we're leaning that way for persons other than Captain Paul, people like him, or people that do cash transactions or vehicle licensing, and driver's tests and stuff like that. We would like to actually shift that to online, because that's part of the reason why there's so many there's so much a long wait time. So we are strategizing on that, and we will have a solution. Vehicles, for instance, you can actually private garages do inspections as well, and then once you get the inspection, obviously then you can go and do it online real easily. And we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus online transactions for driver's licenses and setting up driving exams and stuff like that as well. So we're working on all of this right now from a DVDL perspective to get that. We really don't want to see the lines back there again, to be honest. And we were heading down that way to begin with, so we're going to going to push hard. This is, if there's a kind of a blessing, I'm trying to be optimistic. It's the point that this sort of, takes away all the fluff and the stuff that we have to do, but we don't really have to do, and it allows us to, focus our time in the day. Although we're working remotely, we're still working very hard. So it allows us to actually put more time into things, right? And so we're doing really well. The programmers are, they'd probably like nothing more than to sit there and just program all day anyway. So that's really what they're doing. Like I said, the business development center will be up and running, and also planning. We were actually strategizing on where to focus our efforts, whether it's plan reviews, whether it's inspectors. We had some plans to increase staff there anyway, so we're spooling those up as quickly as possible. We do have some issues with hiring persons. Unfortunately, we've gone through it quite a number of times, and at the very end, for one reason or another, they pull out. But we are doing that right now, advertising, getting ready to advertise on some other positions as well. Sorry. And also for DCI, we're talking with those guys to figure out really where best to focus our energy. But yeah, I think we'll definitely be ready. Our ministry and our minister, we pride ourselves on going hard at things. So that's sort of our motto right now, to really sort all this stuff out behind the scenes so that we can be up and ready for it when it's there. Yeah.
Yep. One of our listeners has said that their car license expires this month, and they would like you to repeat the online information again for them.
Sure. So it's dvdl.gov.ky, and you can then go to I think it's the right-hand side of the screen. Yeah, it is the right-hand side of the screen, and it'll say renew, and then follow the procedures either as a guest user or as a registered user. The registered user has a ECID number. The guest user, if it's simply just renewing, it's probably the easiest thing to do, and you just type in your license plate number and follow the steps. It's, I think, 3 or 4 more steps beyond that point. Upload the documents, pay, print off your receipt, and you're good to go. It's really, really easy. So I encourage everyone to do that anyhow, because that's really the way we're going to be going in the future. Just sort of an aside, but I think these same guys worked on. That's kind of why I don't want. This is not throwing anybody under the bus. It's actually bigging them up in a roundabout way. But one of the reasons why we're a little behind is because we were focusing. The computer guys were focusing on the customs import system, and so that's pretty well almost worked out, and we've got some kinks in it, but they're really up and going. And I remember when they first went online and they completely shifted to everything online, some of us really sort of made a fuss about it, but I personally have used it for a number of times, and it's become a real efficient system. And it's a real breath of fresh air to walk into customs now and just be one of the just get called for and to pay. You pay and you're out the door, and so it's really and that's where we're going with this. So I think that will be what will have to happen. Obviously, we have a little different because we have to do inspections, but we're also looking at ways to make that easier. Again, you don't have to, once you get your car, if you have a brand new car, you can inspect your car for over a year. You can inspect it for 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So in fact, there's a host of different options that you can inspect for, and so that's what I would encourage people to do, because even on on cars that aren't brand new but are still new, 2018 or 2017, you you can still do it for 3 years and 2 years, and then when you license the car or when you have to renew, then you can only do that at at the cost of whatever you can afford. So I think it's very flexible, and I would love everyone to be able to use it going forward. Save themselves a lot of time, and instead of sitting down at a DVDL.
Certainly. Okay. And any closing remarks for us?
Yeah, I think from the ministry perspective, we also are working on some things. We face the public as well, and I know ministers got us working on a few things for the national energy policy, for instance. I think we're gonna be doing something with that probably this week, and anybody that I think I'll just probably tell everybody about coronavirus in general. If you want information on it or anything, you can go to exploregov.ky/coronavirus to get the official updates. And we're doing some other stuff that I think one thing I didn't mention is the NRA. We're still working on a lot of road proposals, if you will. We're not stopping. We were supposed to bring into effect, I think this week, a new design at Grand Harbor to alleviate some traffic in the afternoons. Yes. So, because of this, we're a little delayed, but we will definitely have it up and going before everything gets back to normal and traffic is bad again. So we're focused on getting those 3 lanes going east. So in the afternoons, at least, we can really have an easy ride home. We're also working on getting the 3rd lane coming into town. So and also the Linford Pearson Highway. So ministry and NRA are still doing a lot of things from this end behind the scenes that we usually do behind the scenes anyway. And we're definitely focusing on those so that we can get those up and running and to make life a little easier for persons or people when they come back.
Okay. There was a help desk hotline number or email that you may have mentioned, email address that you may have mentioned earlier. Someone is asking if you could please repeat that again also, sir.
There's a couple. There was a dvdl.helpdesk@gov.ky. That's dvdl.helpdesk@gov.ky. That's one help desk for DVDL. We've also got dci.gov.ky for the DCI persons, and we've got info@planning.gov.ky for the planning persons, and last but not least for the small businesses, it's called the Center for Business Development. It's CICBD@gov.ky. And let me just repeat those numbers. Do they have some telephone numbers?
Sure.
929-5073, 926-5771, 925-3794.
Okay, sir. That's it. Mr. Hyde, I want to thank you very much, and just let you know that Radio Cayman, and for the record, we remain available in the event that you need to get valuable information out to our listening and viewing audience as well. I want to thank you very much. Have a great day, and you and your families, please stay safe.
Yes, you too, sir. Everything back to you. Please stay safe. Please wash your hands and take care and all that sort of stuff to the general public. And I really have to thank Radio Cayman as well, because I've actually, I listen to them quite a bit, and you hear all of our ads and stuff running on there and the general stuff. So it's really reassuring. So thank you very much, and have a great week. I know it's sort of unorthodox, but still. Anyway, have a great week and enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please, everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
Start getting your debt under control with a debt consolidation loan from Fidelity Bank. At Fidelity, your loan decision is quick with no runaround. Plus, with competitive interest rates and fees, we will help you reduce your monthly payments and get you back to living again. Don't let the burden of overwhelming debt tie you down this year. Call Fidelity today and let's make it happen with a Fidelity Bank debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you trying to reach the flu hotline? Call 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077 or log on to www.hsa.ky/publichealth/coronavirus. You can also email questions to flu@hsa.ky. These have been made operational to provide answers and guidance to those persons who experience flu-like symptoms or just have general questions. The hotline numbers and the email address are manned 24 hours a day. The maximum response time for responding to email queries is 24 hours. If persons have policy questions, they can go to www.gov.ky and click on Coronavirus. Be in the know. You can find the latest advice and guidance for households, businesses, and schools, as well as advice pertaining to older persons or persons with chronic diseases.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
This is a public service announcement from your Radio Cayman, your community radio station. Here are some coronavirus prevention tips.
Home isolation means staying indoors and completely avoiding contact with other people. You need to do this if you have symptoms of COVID-19. If you are practicing home isolation, you should stay in a well-ventilated room with a window to outside that can be opened separate from other people in your home. Keep the door closed and use a separate bathroom from the rest of the household if available. If you have to share these facilities, regular sterilization will be required. Consider drawing up a bathroom schedule for washing or bathing and have the isolated person using the facilities last.
For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to have an open line now. We do have one caller on hold, but before I go to that caller, I have several emails that have come in before then as well. One of our listeners has written in and said, the new system of specific surnames is working well at Countryside and is also is the senior hours from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. The management is doing a very good job and staff are very professional. Everyone needs to cooperate with the government effort. They are trying to save lives. Another person has written in and said, shopped at Foster's Food Fair Airport at 6 Us older folks found it very easy. The system of alphabetical entry was a great idea. Also, single shopper idea, that is husband or wife, was also working. Not many couples shopping together. No long lines. We can win, K-Man. And they say the parking lot traffic has been slightly changed to help with crowd control as well. One more listener wrote in and said that Hurley's Supermarket is saying the demand for delivery and pickups has exceeded their fulfillment capacity. And the question is, are the other supermarkets planning to do delivery and curbside pickup to alleviate this problem? But it would appear to me, I'll just answer that one and say, if the alphabetical system is working and you have the ability to go to the supermarkets, then I would say take advantage of that, because each group you have 3 days? 3 days out of the week to shop as well. Let's grab the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ronnie, you keep things safe, and you always know when I'm online. You go read all these emails and hold me up.
Don't worry, we'll still give you your time.
Oh, see, I know that you're not a doctor, but I need to see what they can probably help me to an extent. I have allergies, right? And I'm on allergy medication, and very seldom take it. I'm allergic to the alcohol since all this corona stuff come out. I'm allergic to the hand sanitizer lotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allergic to the bleach white. I'm allergic to the bleach period in the bottle. I am allergic to the Berry and Dettol and the Dettol soap. Every time I use these things, my eyes is itching and my nose is itching, and I don't have no fever. I take my flu shot every year. I had mine just a couple of months ago. I am not sick. And from the 25th of December, I haven't been the same. I end up with panic attack and anxiety. So I have to do medication for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what I can use not to have these situations from these chemicals that I am using. And by the way, I have a little granddaughter. She's a year and a half old. And every time she sees you washing your hands, she comes and wants her hand washed too. I know she knows what's going on. But she just kicks my bucket when she comes and wants to wash her hand too. You could wash her hand 10 times, and then she see you doing it. She come and get her washed too.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. But I just wondering if there's anything out there that instead of keep taking these allergy pills, I kind of drink them too often because I'm taking some of the other medication. But like I say, I'm not having no symptoms that I could say that it's to this coronavirus, you understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when I use all these other things, they're waking up my allergies, and then I have to go end up taking an allergy pill. Anyhow, I just want to say that the government is doing a very good job, and I wish we had started it earlier, but better late than never. And I just want to say that every time that they go to a brief meeting, even on a Sunday, to help keep us in order and to protect us, I think those briefing people that goes in there to ask their questions, they're coming like they're in a court case, double questioning the judge. They're double questioning the judge instead of the judge cross-questioning them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I feel if they say something, why go back and put it in their term and they're going to get the same answer? And Alvin, I can see that Alvin is trying to have as much patience as possible. And they are wearing those guys down at that table because they're asking a lot of stupid questions and a lot of unnecessary questions to the fact of the situation. All they got to do is just listen and obey. I mean, if we can't obey as an adult, how can you expect a child to obey?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say to Kim, man, you don't need to wake up and try to watch the U.S. news a little bit more regular and stop doing all kind of crap on Facebook and get knowledge of what's happening. And the government here is trying to save our lives, because let me tell you something, Oopsie. I don't want to hear nobody came and die, regardless of family or no family, under the situation. You understand?
Sure,
so
sure.
I just want to shout out to the government this morning that they're doing a great job. And I would ask you guys to please be lenient on your stupid question, repeating over and over when you all go to the brief meetings and stuff. frontline guys up there. Anyhow, I need someone to call you and tell you what I can do, OC. Thank you for being the doctor today.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope someone will be able to have a suggestion for you as well.
Thank you.
All the best, all the best. I'm going to comment a little bit about the reporters at the press briefing. And every profession has its own style. They have their own protocols. Sometimes there are reasons why a question may be asked to elicit something from the person who's being questioned. I have heard several people say that some of the questions are either unnecessary or some of the questions, trying to find a socially acceptable way of saying it, but dumb. That's the only way I can say that some of the questions are dumb. That's coming from the layman's standpoint. Like I said, the journalism profession, and I don't really consider myself a journalist. I never took any journalism courses or anything like that. But they have their reasons for doing what they're doing. But they need to recognize that they are on the national stage now. So while there are things that you want to elicit from the panel who's up there, the governor, chief medical officer for health, the premier, Minister Seymour, whatever it is that you're wanting to elicit from them, you're on the national stage. People are listening to you. People are tuning in to those press briefings because that's where they get their first-hand information, because you get it live. Radio Cayman will give it to you, carry it to you live. It's probably it's streamed as well. But people are listening because they want to hear it and they want to get it immediately. So we do realize that you're in a small town, so it's small town journalism, but the public has expectations as well. So you want, as reporters, you want to up your game as well because you are on the national stage. So just want to put that out there to you reporters who are out there. And like I said, you have your reasons for asking questions, and sometimes it may be a follow-up from a response that had been given at a previous press briefing, and you're seeking again to follow up on that. But you're on a national stage, so you're going to have to up your game because people are listening to you, people are watching you, they're monitoring you, and they are critiquing you, and they will criticize you as well. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes. Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether it's celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
If your business is over here, but your customers are over here, adding more yellow to your business will bring you both right here. With everyone searching Yellow's print, online, and mobile app, getting your business noticed is easier than ever. Book your consultation today at findyellow.com.
A public service announcement from Radio Cayman. Coronavirus prevention tips. Advice for vulnerable people. Extra steps you can take to avoid COVID-19. If you have a chronic illness such as respiratory disease, diabetes, heart disease, COPD, hypertension, or cancer, or are elderly, over 60, or have a compromised immune system, you can further protect yourself with extra precautionary steps in addition to prevention tips. 1. Limit guest visits at home to a few family and friends or your district community officer during an outbreak. 2. Avoid guests who show signs of flu-like symptoms. 3. Remain 3 to 6 feet away unless being checked by your healthcare provider. More importantly, remember you are supported. Call the HSA helpline on 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077 if you have any questions. For the latest updates and information, please visit hsa.ky/public-health/coronavirus or gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we have an open line for you. One of our listeners has written in and said, we just received our groceries, just got our groceries delivered. Unfortunately, the delivery person did not wear gloves. Should this not be mandatory for all persons handling groceries inside and outside? It's a good point. And I was watching some news stations on television, and there were also instructions in terms of when you receive those goods that are delivered, what you do as far as the packaging is concerned, or whatever container that they're brought in, how you should go about sanitizing those as well. Some suggestions to leave the package outside for a few minutes before you take them indoors. Of course, you got to watch out that someone doesn't come around the corner and pinch them, from you as well. But this is a very good observation, and I hope and I trust that someone is listening who's involved in the delivery service. It seems to be going quite well because someone went online I think it was on Saturday, and they could only guarantee or accept orders that would probably be delivered the following Thursday. So it seems to be, quite busy on there. So those delivering want to ensure that they exercise all of the safety procedures, take all of the necessary precautions as well, because you really want your customers to feel safe and comfortable with the delivery that they received. One of our listeners also wrote in and said that they can attest that they find DVDL online registration process to be extremely user friendly. And they say that as a youthful senior, they have now learned how to download their insurance information on PDF, etc. However, we must assist our elders who need help. There must be a period of for providing this on site, and I believe that is the intent as described by Mr. Hyde. So yes, certainly it is the intent to assist them. And if you have a neighbor who has a vehicle, and you have any reason to believe that they may have any difficulties, make an inquiry, find out whether or not they have had their vehicle licensing renewed, and see what you can help. Of course, at the same time, you want to ensure that you observe all the protocols, because as they're telling us, those senior citizens are certainly some of the most vulnerable when it comes to contracting the COVID-19 virus as well. Do I have any more? Okay, what we want to do, because persons have asked us to repeat repeat all of the information in relation to the supermarket issue. So I will read from the press briefing again. Supermarket rules were changed today, right? Supermarkets will allow only shoppers from Monday to Saturday as follows. Those with the last name starting A through K. So if you have a last name starting A through K, will be allowed to shop for essential supplies on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So again, I'm going to repeat it. A through K. You will be allowed to shop for essential supplies on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I would also point out to you that whatever internal controls that the supermarkets have in, for instance, the number of similar items or same items that you can purchase, they all stay in effect, because those are their rules. Okay? Those with the last name L to Z or Z will be allowed to shop on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And these rules, the Premier said, allow all to shop. Children are strongly discouraged from attending supermarkets as well. As it relates to senior citizens and disabled persons, senior citizens, disabled persons, and pregnant women will have one special hour daily set aside exclusively for them to shop. Outside of those hours, there will also be one designated checkout line for these persons. Essential government personnel will also have a designated checkout line. I believe, I haven't been to any of the supermarkets, but I believe also that some of them may have a special line for senior citizens, even if they go outside to shop, if they go to shop outside of the time that has been designated for them as well. The release also goes on to point out that opening hours for the various supermarkets and large shops are as follows. Foster's and Price Right, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 1 hour of operation from 6 to 7 a.m. solely dedicated to senior citizens, disabled persons, and pregnant women. Essential government staff will also have a dedicated line from 5 to 6 p.m. each day. So 5 to 6 in the evening, essential government staff will have a dedicated line. For Hurley's 5 to 6 for government. For Hurley's Supermarket, they will be operating from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m., 7 in the morning until 6 in the evening, with the first hour from 7 to 8 exclusively for seniors, disabled persons, and pregnant women. And again, they have their dedicated line for essential government staff, and that will be from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, I'm wondering, Foster's, their dedicated line is from 5 to 6. I'm trusting that is not a typo, but we will try to determine that, because Hurley's essential government staff, will be from 5 a.m. I'm told that people, each store has different times. Cost you less. Let's go to them. They're open from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. daily, with 7 a.m. dedicated to senior citizens, disabled persons, and pregnant women. A dedicated line for essential government staff from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Kirk Market, open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. All locations have arranged for a front-of-line service for senior citizens, disabled persons, and pregnant women during normal hours of operation. And of course, the rules came into effect this morning. They appear to be working quite well based on the feedback that we're getting. One of our listeners had a query, and I didn't have an answer for it. And if you do, it has to do with Progressive, whether or not Progressive have adopted procedures as well. And we have a voice message that we will play for you now as it relates to Progressive. So it is very short. Please listen in if you want to know about the rules of shopping for Progressive. Here we go.
Good morning. I just spoke to Progressive, and they opened at 9, and they are using the alphabetical system. Thank you.
I want to thank that caller for that. They have confirmed that Progressive they're open from 9 o'clock, and they are using the alphabetical system as well. What I don't know, because I haven't been on the lines and no one has mentioned it, are you being required to present some sort of ID, picture ID, with your name on it to establish that you are the person and that you fall into the category for that day as well? If you have an answer for that for me, please send me an email for the record at candw.ky, or otherwise, I'm told that a WhatsApp may have just come in. What we're going to do, Miss Susan, let's take our last commercial break. It's in relation to the stores. Let's take our last commercial break, and when we return, we will give you whatever additional information that we have, and we will read whatever correspondence that you may have, and remind you also that the phone lines are still open. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Sending money to your family overseas shouldn't be a full-day process. Stop waiting in lines. MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide, offering 3 convenient locations: Shedden Road, Baden Water Sports in West Bay, and at FIS Brack Agency in Cayman Brack. MoneyGram by Financial Integrated Services. Visit fiscayman.com for more information on MoneyGram services. MoneyGram, bringing you closer.
Vamped Motors encourages everyone to stay home in compliance with our government's directives, which are absolutely critical to protect our islands from the coronavirus. In light of this, Vamped Motors will be closed from Wednesday the 25th of March for 10 days, or until our Cayman Islands government gives us the all-clear to return to work. Please, everyone, be safe and let's get through this together by staying apart.
The Health Services Authority will reopen clinics and full pharmacy services Saturday, 28th March, in line with government's latest soft curfew shelter-in-place provisions. The Cayman Islands Hospital Pharmacy, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Faith Hospital Pharmacy, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Flu Clinic, Cayman Islands Hospital, daily 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Faith Hospital, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Acute Care Walk-in Clinics in Georgetown, General Practice Building, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. District Health Centers and Pharmacies. All evening general practice clinics have been cancelled. Patients in the districts will be contacted to reschedule. Bodden Town, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. West Bay, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. North Side, East End, and Little Cayman Clinic hours remains unchanged. In order to protect our patients and minimize potential exposure, patients are reminded to remain at home where possible and to only seek medical attention for urgent needs. If you are experiencing flu-like symptoms, please contact your private general health practitioner or call the HSA Flu Hotline 1-800-534-8600 or 947-3077, or you can email flu@hsa.ky before leaving your home. You will receive advice over the phone to guide on what the next step are. Example, to stay at home or to come to the flu clinic, etc. If you need emergency medical attention, HSA's Accident and Emergency Department remains open 24/7. Visit hsa.ky/temporary closure.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. We still have our phone lines open. I want to thank all of those listeners who sent in messages confirming that, yes, identification is required. They're asking for you to show some form of identification to verify that you are actually entitled to shop today at those shopping locations as well. Now, one of the things that, and people are smart, so, I'm not giving away any secrets or anything like that. But obviously, you're allowed to shop based on your surname, and it doesn't restrict you to any one location, to any one entity, any one shopping entity. But again, we would ask you to use common sense, use your conscience, and obviously if you're unable to find the specific item that you want and it is absolutely necessary for you to get that item, then we can understand you going somewhere else. But try to avoid running from store to store to store because again, you want to hoard, you want to stack up on items as well, because if necessary, if they find that that's happening, then the authorities may have to look at restricting the shopping in a particular area to only the residents of that area and not allowing you to go elsewhere as well. And there are ways to do that. We can resort to the voters list, even though many people may not be on the voters list, but they can resort to the voters list and ask you to provide, or otherwise ask you to provide evidence that you of where you're living at as well. So don't spoil a good thing. It's working. Don't mess with it. Don't play with it. Someone in the BRAC says that I would like to suggest on the BRAC to put a big sign by the store entrance saying shopping days, surnames starting with from A to K to shop on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays only. People with surnames L through Z to shop on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays only. It seems on the BRAC, a lot of people are saying they did not know. So if we need to do a special broadcast for the BRAC, Miss Susan, how can we do that? If we need to. But again, let's get the word out there. Get the word out to people so that there is no problem. Here's one. I'm going to read it. And I must say, sometimes I'm reading these things. I haven't had the opportunity to read them before. And if you hear me stumble, or I may leave out something if I find that it is not appropriate. Fortunately, all of the messages that have been coming in are actually socially acceptable, so not a problem. It says, good morning, Mr. Connor. Have a question for you to ask those in authority. It's in relation to this COVID-19 pandemic crisis and the ongoing curfew implemented by the government. The question is, what provisions have been put in place to provide for those who do not and cannot find any place to live or shelter during these times? I know of persons sheltering and living in their cars, cannot find a place to live, even went to NAU, but to no avail. The Premier states that persons should stay home. Cayman. So what about those persons? And they say that they're listening for a response. Not only during this period, I would say, but other times as well, persons have expressed concerns about those persons living out of their vehicles, those that are homeless, and everything. And again, it's no different now. It's something that we need to look at, something that should be of concern to everyone. Now, if they've been to the needs assessment unit and they cannot assist them, I find that to be of concern. And sometimes there's more to the story than we know about. But if you do know someone who finds themselves in that position, I would say to you, speak to your elected representative, speak to the minister, try to have a word with the minister whose portfolio the needs assessment unit falls under, to see what, if any, assistance can be rendered to those persons if they in fact want to be other than where they're at. That would be good. I just want to go over the press briefing again yesterday, and well, we have a caller, so rather I was going to mention what the governor had to say, and in particular in relation to urgent travel, and I'll say that all persons seeking urgent travel for emergency and compassionate needs should continue to call the emergency hotline 244-3333, Mondays through Fridays, 244-3333. He also pointed out that the discussions are seriously underway for British Airways flights to London. Spoke about the defense regiment as well, and what is happening there, and pointed out that the UK is on the forefront of funding for ongoing search for a COVID-19 vaccine, for which it has provided £210 million, the single largest contribution in the world today. And it seems as if some progress is also being made in terms of the UK providing needed supplies here to the Cayman Islands as well. Also, there was information provided in relation to the receipt of supplies from the United States also. We have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. This is Gilbert McLean.
Good morning, Mr. McLean. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and thank you for being there and keeping the faithful radio command going and keeping us informed.
You're welcome, sir.
I just wanted to call in to say that I believe we all should be very grateful for what the government has done to date. I think it's truly outstanding in that I listen to broadcasts from certain countries that are simply just beginning to put in place what we've had in place now for at least a week.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's truly commendable. And I got to say that I believe the Premier Alden McLaughlin has really handled himself outstandingly and admirably well. Particularly as I watched the various occasions of the press conferences, he seems to have extra patience in saying what he says and answering questions over and over again, and that speaks well for these times. Also, I want to say that Minister Dwayne Seymour, known better as John, he has truly too exemplified himself, I think, and he has brought something that is pretty much lost, it seems, these days, back to it, a religious point of view and the belief of Caymanians in a God and godliness and so on.
Yes.
I think generally, OC, it has been going remarkably well. And for persons who would recklessly not adhere to what the restrictions and policies are now, it is truly unwise because quite a number of us in this country are in the higher age bracket that we're extremely vulnerable to this, even the young, because 16-year-olds are dying from it. I've seen broadcasts that speak of 16-year-olds, and this thing is escalating beyond anything that could be imagined. And I think the UK is a good example of, it's gonna pass, and just leave it alone and leave it open. And by God, they're in serious trouble now. So we have been so fortunate to have a government which has taken steps that should prove ultimately to be better off. I even see where the certain foreign press.
Yes. One of our listeners has written in and asked whether or not we have mentioned that Forbes article.
The Forbes is quite an article there. And then there's been an economist from Trinidad as well who has also spoken about us. So, there's, we will criticize and we must criticize where that's necessary, but we also ought to take pride in ourselves and compliment ourselves when we get things right. And I believe personally that at this time it is right, and I would encourage all of us, having been there in government myself and whatnot, I would encourage us just to follow the rules on this thing and let's see how well we can progress and how successful we can be. There is one thing perhaps, you might know, I don't, but I wonder why no one asks about the number of test kits, because World Health Organization has said, the head of that has said, test.
Yes, I think
we don't really know unless we can identify the numbers who are perhaps contracted this virus.
Right.
And then we can even up our ante even more, So perhaps that is something which we need to really look after seriously.
The reporters have been pressing. That in the press briefings, and I think at the last one they pointed out that 480 had been delivered. I think I'm not sure whether or not that was in addition to the 60 plus that they had, or whether or not that is the total. And I think more expected as well. Plus, the doctors' hospital now should be getting kits this week as well, which will increase the capacity for testing.
Yeah, to my mind, that is really, really important, because until we get in the position where we can find out who are infected with this thing, we don't really know how to quarantine those or keep them separated from the rest who don't have it, So that, to me, that's something which the government should really press to do, and get several thousands or as many as they can get, so that we're truly on top of it.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we'll see. Once again, thank you for
Thank
the job
you.
you're doing. And like I said, I just wanted to compliment the government for what they have done so far, and hopefully they'll continue to do it.
Thank you very much, sir. Ms. Susan, what can we do it this way? Can you do your news and you want to just continue? We have one caller. We're over the time, but we want to give you an opportunity, but we're going to ask you to be as quick as possible. Caller, good morning. Go right ahead.
Thank you, OC, for at least giving me the little opportunity of have my little piece to say, which is not going to be long as usual. But all I want to say is this, all I've heard and all I see, I wonder if people should just stop and pause for 20 to 30 seconds and realize that to lock down the world, there's some superpower that is showing us something that we're straying too far away, that we need to stop and see what's happening. My personal opinion, like many others, this is the hands of the Almighty telling us, we just need to stop, take a pause, and get back to Him and realize, because this is a worldwide thing. This is not World War I or II. This is globally. And He has done it without firing a shot. So I just hope that we can make all of our comments, and I'm not criticizing, but I personally think, like many of other people, this is the Almighty trying to show us something. OC, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And one of our listeners just wanted to say that they and their family appreciate the government for all that they have done. The civil service has been doing, as well as the civil service has been doing to protect us, includes Radio Cayman staff. We also appreciate the staff who are working stores and the numerous services that we are getting to take us through these tough seas. May the Supreme Architect protect you and them. So I will close with those remarks from one of our listeners. Folks, have a great day. God bless.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates.
FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only two species that we have on the island.
Generation present.
Your voice, your choice.
For today's biggest news.
Access.
Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom team.
Today's biggest news.